Fala galera do canal da Dragon Pharma Brasil, eu tô em frente à casa do Human, atleta pro IFBB, coach Dragon Pharma, e a gente vai contar uma história sensacional de motivação. Se você é assim como eu gosto de pessoas que superaram seus limites, hoje a história que você vai ouvir é de Human, beleza? Já deixa o seu like, seu comentário, ativa as notificações e até daqui a pouquinho. Fala galera do Dragon Pharma, tô aqui com o Yuma, atleta pro IFBB, coach da Dragon Pharma. So, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you for this interview.
Thank you, brother.
I have some questions about that, and I'm going to introduce you for our family in Brazil, okay?
All right.
Okay, let's start it. So Yuma, tell us more about your childhood. When you started to like bodybuilding?
I've always been athletic. I guess I've been an athlete my entire life, but I started training with weights specifically when I was 16 years old, and the reason being was for high school football. I played cornerback my freshman year, and then my sophomore year, my coach was moving me from cornerback to running back. And in that position, you need to be a little thicker. Yeah. Exactly, you need to be a little thicker, a little stronger. I thought of ways I could gain weight because I was very thin. I was always very thin. At that time, I was 114 pounds, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, at 16 years old, I was 114 pounds. So, to play cornerback, that was fine because that's just a basically speed and skill position. But to play running back, I was going to need to put on a little weight and a little more size. So. I tried eating more, and I've always had a very fast metabolism, even this day, and I just couldn't gain weight just from eating. So I turned to weight training, and never stopped after that. I guess the rest is history. So I started in high school for football, and then after football in high school, I got involved in powerlifting in college. And it was through powerlifting I was actually recruited by a local promoter to compete in one of his shows, and here we are.
I saw a picture of you, but running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, very fast.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not, man.
10.92?
Wow, you actually remember? Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn,
sure.
Dude, look at you. Okay. 10.
I was thinking how.
It was a 1091, but you're close enough. I am impressed, dude. I am impressed. But yeah. But I mean, I've obviously put on some weight since then. I think when I ran that 1091, I was probably about 150 pounds. So you're talking like,
wow, almost
100 pounds ago. But yeah, man, I was pretty fast. When I was in high school, I was fast my whole life. I always ran track and played football, but track was really my thing. Like I was fast, but injuries in high school prevented me from continuing that. So that's when I got involved in powerlifting.
All right.
Yeah.
As an amateur athlete, what was your biggest challenge?
Wow, that's a good question. Got to think about that for a second. That's actually a really good question. I guess
it's a lot of challenge, right?
Absolutely. That's why I said I have to think about that, because as an amateur athlete, you do face many, and it's levels of challenges. I guess my biggest obstacle would be on the mental side, because I struggled back and forth with whether or not I really, especially in the beginning. Towards the end, I had made up my mind and basically it made it so that I knew I would be a pro, but in the beginning I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. Was I just doing this as a hobby? Was it just fun? And in the beginning it was, but as I got deeper and deeper into the sport and my passion for it grew, I really saw this as something I could see myself doing for a living and making a career out of it. And that's probably what I struggled with the most in the beginning, was trying to convince myself that it was actually capable, because I had everyone in my life basically saying it's impossible. You have this percentage of people that go pro, this percentage of people that can actually make a living or make an income doing this. And I just had to push all that out, and I went with my gut, and so far it's paid off. So I'm in a good position right now, and I've been blessed, and I'm thankful, but I've also worked my ass off for it, so.
Yeah. And have you ever found someone that didn't believe in your athlete career?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There have been a lot of people, family members, friends.
Even family, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Specifically family members. But what's funny, I guess what sticks out the most in my head is I had an ex-girlfriend who basically told me that I was wasting my time, and she wasn't trying to be insensitive or mean or hurtful. She thought it was in my best interest to focus on something other than bodybuilding, because that's where all my focus was. And when I commit to something, I give 100%. I have tunnel vision, and everything in my life is focused towards achieving that goal. So she basically told me I was wasting my time. And again, like I just mentioned, she was one of those people telling me that this many people, this percentage make it, this percentage go pro, this percentage can actually make a career out of this. And she said, you're wasting your time, you're smart, you're intelligent, you have a degree, why don't you focus on something else and get your life going? And obviously I left her immediately because I just can't be with someone who doesn't believe in me or have the same vision, and she was obviously wrong. So
galera, vocês estão ligados porque eu sou fã dele, porque é o seguinte, né? A gente tá num ponto da conversa que é muito interessante a gente ter uma atenção aqui. Quantos de vocês, né, não são impedidos de sonhar ou continuar na sua caminhada por pessoas, inclusive da família, que às vezes não dá o devido apoio? Talvez é intangível o seu sonho para eles, enfim, a gente não vai entrar no mérito aqui. Mas se não fosse pela vontade dele, né, o que tinha dentro do coração dele, então se não fosse ele acreditar realmente no coração, no que ele acreditava para a vida dele, ele não conseguiria superar tudo que superou. Vocês vão entender onde a gente vai chegar com essa história. So, I know that you are a coach, right? So, how's work your job? For example, you work just with athletes or non-athletes?
Yeah, I guess primarily with athletes, but I'll work with anybody who's serious. I don't exclude, just your normal average person who just wants to focus on bettering themselves. All I require from anyone who I work with is that you're serious, you're driven, and you don't waste my time. If you come with a genuine interest in bettering yourself and with real goals, then I don't care if you're preparing for the NFL Combine or you're a housewife who just wants to lose weight and feel better. I'll work with absolutely anyone who's serious and like honestly, genuinely wants to change and is going to put the work in to make that happen. That's all I ask from anyone I work with. Just be serious and consistent and don't waste my time.
Sure. E eu sei disso, né, galera? A gente vai deixar até no card aqui pra vocês o treino que ele me passou de ombros, tá doendo até agora. I feel, I'm good, but I'm good, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah. That's good. That's exactly what we want, You want to fill the workout afterwards, but you don't want to be so tore up that you're not able to do anything else either, or go about your normal daily tasks. That's just ridiculous. Like Lee Haney always said, you want to stimulate, not annihilate. And right. I'm a big believer in that.
All right.
Anybody can take somebody in the gym and just totally trash them. Anybody can do that, but that doesn't mean that the training was actually beneficial. It doesn't mean you're going to see any purpose out of it. So. It's all about, for me, it's all about muscle stimulation and promoting hypertrophy. So anybody can tax your central nervous system and have you laying on the ground throwing up and out of breath. That doesn't mean that you're promoting real growth though, So
all right. Good. So there is a question.
Yes.
Yuma. I'm very interested to know about, because more about your mindset, because I heard something about that you had a serious injury in the past,
right?
But I know you got a pro last year. All right. So how was for you overcome these kind of challenge limits? Because a serious injury and then IFBB Pro, it's a huge challenge. I would like you to talk more about this kind of mindset. How was for you?
Right. I get that a lot. I get that question a lot because I mean, what happened to me was basically, it wasn't just a career ender. I mean, it almost ended my life. You know, I mean, I was on my deathbed. I was very, very, very
close,
near death. Absolutely.
Really?
I mean, I was right there. I stared it in the face for
God.
months. You know, and I didn't train for almost a year after that. You know, it was 9 months before I stepped foot in a gym again, and you know, I was basically told that I would never lift weights again. My days competing were absolutely, you know, over, no question. And that's actually why I started coaching and working with athletes, because I felt like that part of my life was over, but I still had a love and passion for the sport and for the industry. And I felt like it was a way for me to still contribute. So that's why I got into coaching. So I said, if I can no longer compete or step on stage, I'd like to help others, you know, accomplish their dreams of competing or turning pro or whatever it is that they want to do. But when I started working with Dragon, man, those guys, they really motivated me, you know, and seeing all the athletes coming and going and working with their athletes and working with some of the athletes that I was working with, it really, really, really motivated me and it inspired me. And, you know, I started slow, you know, but I made up my mind that I wasn't going to let what happened to me hold me back, because, you know, that had been a dream of mine for a long time, earning my IFBB Pro card. And I felt like it had been, damn, sorry.
No worries, bro.
I felt like it had been kind of just like stolen from me, like ripped from me, and I needed to make that right. So that's why I went back to competing. And a year after the incident happened, I did a pro qualifier in Bermuda, and I missed my pro card by 1 point. I won my class, but missed the overall. I placed second overall, but you had to win the overall to turn pro at that event. And this year, I won my pro card at the Amateur Olympia. I won my class there, and that was 2 years post basically being told I would never train again. You know, and I was told I would literally never pick up a barbell again. And 2 years later, I was an IFBB pro. So it's just. And you asked about the mindset, man. You just, you know, if you have a dream, man, you can't let anybody take that from you. You know, you got to protect your dreams. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. You know, if you have a dream, like, go after it with everything you have. You know, you have to protect that. Don't ever let anybody, I don't care who they are, tell you that you can or cannot do something. You know, that the only limitations you have are the ones you place on yourself. So that's the mindset.
Tá vendo, galera? Eu falei pra vocês, falei que essa entrevista ia ser emocionante, assim, e reforça aquilo que eu disse, né, cara? Porque independente do desafio que você tem na vida, cara, se você não acreditar, né, realmente isso é possível, porque muita gente vai falar que você não vai conseguir, e até a vida vai colocar certos desafios pra você que vai tentar mostrar que realmente é impossível. Mas o mindset do campeão, né, pessoas como o Yumo e tantos outros que foram vitoriosos, que saíram ali das cinzas e retornaram para ser campeões, verdadeiros campeões, é isso que a gente tem que seguir, cara. Por isso que a gente vai deixar o Instagram do Yumo aqui para vocês acompanhar a história dele, o dia a dia, dá muita dica bacana, principalmente o mindset, tá bom? Porque no caso dele, ele é um campeão dos palcos, mas você pode ser um campeão na sua vida, independente do objetivo. I have a quick question here. I have a screenshot.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna put this picture. All right. This moment, bro.
Yeah.
I know that it's take few seconds, but maybe whole life.
Yeah.
All right. So what you thought at this moment
Yeah.
after they call your name, you know?
Yeah.
What happened here, exactly here, this time?
Yeah, everything I just told you. Everything I just told you. It's just a culmination of all the work, the years, the time, the effort, the pain, the suffering, the I can just go on and on and on and on and on. But it's just the culmination of all those dark places you've been, you know, and knowing that you were able to claw your way out of that hole, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like just dig your way out of that hole and reach the light, and that's what all that was. I couldn't even control it. I just broke down, you know. But that's what that moment meant to me right there. It was just the realization of a dream. You know, very few people. There's so many people out there that the majority of people who have, like, how many people actually can say they're living their dream? You know, they had a dream, they had a plan, and they put it into action, and they made it. You know, they got there. Like, there are very few people who can say that, and especially, you know, like coming from where I came from, man. Like, I've literally been to hell and back. Like, nobody knows what I went through. Like, you hear the stories, you hear, oh, he was sick, you hear but nobody was there. These people, they weren't there in the hospital with me. They didn't see me, you know, bedridden for a month. They didn't see the pain, and they don't know. They didn't experience that, and they weren't there, you know.
That's make you stronger, for sure.
Absolutely. You know, but that's what that moment meant to me. It's just like being in that hole, that dark place, that darkness for so long, man, for so long, and never giving up, never bowing down, never feeling sorry for myself, you know, never saying why me, just always moving forward, and slowly, very slowly at first, you know, but over time I gained a little more momentum and a little more momentum and a little more, and finally, you know, like, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it gets closer and closer and closer, and towards the end of that prep, I knew that moment was coming, and that's what that was, man. It was just the culmination of all of that, hearing my name called, you know, in the words IFBB Pro in front of my name for the first time ever in my life. That's what that was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's intense.
Yeah.
It's amazing history.
Yeah.
So I would like to finish this amazing interview. You say some words from two guys from Brazil, that athletes or not athletes, they have problem and they have dreams. So could you say a few words to them?
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Look, guys, you know, I know some of you watching this interview out there, you know, you're going through something. It may be something with your girlfriend, it may be a health issue, your parents, work, finances, whatever it is. Just don't give up. You know, I mean, we all have hardships, we all go through shit, but you can't lay down. You can't lay down. You know, one of my favorite quotes is the worth of a man is not determined by whether or not he falls down, but by whether or not he gets back up. And, you know, I've fallen down many times, and I've been down a long time. But, you know, the last time I got up, I stayed up. And, you know, it took a long time to get to the point where I'm at now. But I never stopped moving forward. I never gave up. I never felt sorry for myself. And you can't do that. You know, no pity parties. Shit happens. Life is gonna suck sometimes. Suck it up, move forward, and change things. Make your life what you want it to be. You are the change that you can be in your life. You have to make it happen, because no one else is gonna do it for you. So, you know, if you have a goal, you have a dream, something's not right in your life, change it. change it. You know, another one of my favorite quotes is a quote I heard my 11th grade year in high school, and I've never forgotten it. One of my favorite quotes says, "If the opportunity exists, I'll find it. If not, I'll create it." And that's what you have to do, you know?
Bom, é isso, pessoal. Não preciso falar nada, né? A mega entrevista, espero que vocês tenham gostado. A gente vai deixar o Instagram do Yulman aqui na tela. Acompanhe o trabalho desse cara. Mais que motivação, vocês vão aprender bastante também. And bro, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
My pleasure. It was
My pleasure.
All my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.